Well, here we go on part 2 in our Enchanted Forest book. I have to check because we're doing so many in here. I seem to trend that way. And then we'll move on to some of the other books, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I started to work on the little boat, and I was using the same colors that we used in the tree. So just to refresh, we're using ginger root, French gray 90%, dark umber, and sand. So what I've been doing is taking, I'm going to move this one out of the way. So mostly right now I'm using these three. I took the 90% out because I think these are the three that are dark enough to do our little thing, our little boat. It's a leaf, but I still wanted to kind of make it more like the wood in the top, but we will add some green in the veins. I did went ahead and put the same color green in the vine where I'm doing it, and did the leaves so that they stand out, and I'm not going to accidentally color them dark brown and they disappear. If anybody knows what these little balls are with the spikes, it seems like back east when I was living back there for a while, some of these things would fall out of the tree and they were balls and they looked spiky and fuzzy, and when you cracked them open, I don't remember what was in them, but anyway, if you know what they are, let me know, because we're going to paint them. We're going to make them green. I don't know what else to do with them. Okay, so I'm going to start out, and this is what I've been doing, is taking my darkest color, and I'm just, you know me, I like to outline just a little bit and make it heavy right at the top. This is a wider area, so I can do a little better. Not better, but thicker to start with. So I'm also going to do it at the bottom, and I am pressing down a little bit to get that color down. So then I'm going to take my next one, which is the sand color, and it's more of a tan. So it's like a 3-color graduate coming down. So I'm going to go right back on top of the dark color and pull it forward. Just about as deep as I did this dark color on both sides. And then I'm going to take my ginger root in between, and I'm going to just fill in from this side to this side, and then I'm going to come down into the deeper brown and push that color up and down. All right, where'd I hide my brush? Next time I go to Walmart, I am going to look for a fluffy, shorter handle brush. Not that this doesn't work perfect, but if it's not expensive, I am going to do that. So then I just went ahead and went back over the dark part just to make sure that I'm deepening it. And the same with the lighter brown. This is the same way you make gold. Don't we wish we'd all be making everything gold? Okay, so that's basically all I'm doing. And if you want to narrow it up, use your medium brown, the sandbar brown, and you can close that up a little bit. It's up to you. They all are ending up a little bit different, which is fine. Fine with me. You may do yours totally different. But I think just picking 3 colors that you like, a darker, a medium, and a light, and just make the ends really dark. Just the very end. And pull it down. Push it up. Here we go. I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted it to look like, and I don't know why I do that, but before I start filming it, because it's on film, off film, it is what it is. Except for it saved a little bit of time not having to do all of these. When we start doing these bubbles, some of this, I'll do part of them and then finish them up off camera. And then I'll do part of these and finish them off camera. So this probably will take one more video. And somebody reminded me in the memos, and thank you very much, you know who you are, of at the bottom of your screen, when you're looking at your screen on the right hand side, you're going to see 3 little dots. If you open up those 3 little dots, I should have done it before, but there's a place in there you click on, and you can literally speed up this, any video, or you can slow it down. And that reminds me that you can do that so that if you're following along and you want it to go slower so you can keep up, and you want to do the same thing that the person is doing, you can slow that thing down to whatever you want. There's quite a few, not a ton, but quite a few little choices. And if you forget about it, then the person's going, and nobody in it. If you're trying to speed through an area or something, but you want to see it, that works really well too. And then you can pause it when you get to where you want to go and slow it down and go in there and work on it. So it's kind of fun. You ought to try it and see how that works. And it's just 3 little dots. And it's at the bottom, usually the right hand side. And I've done that myself, following along with somebody, so that I can try to keep up, because I'm visual, and I back things up a lot too. I just click on the bottom and back it up and think, okay, what did they say? How did they do that part right there? And if you look at the bottom, you can also, if you've not paid attention, which there wouldn't be a reason for you to, you can you can see exactly what time. So if you want to go back to exactly something, just note what time it is, what it says, not the clock that tells you what time of the day it is, but where it is on the video, because it goes by numbers, and it'll tell you you can go to that exact spot and re-listen to something, because different things I want to take notes on for other things other than just coloring. Sometimes there's a teaching on something that I really like, and I want to go through, and I really want to write it out so that I can have it in my little notebooks, my many little notebooks. So that's why I bought a bunch of the bigger school notebooks this time. And I thought, I'm just going to just keep writing in the same one. Well, now I haven't been writing as much, but there's different times when you do. And you will. Just that you want to write things down that you want to remember. Or you want to remember to share with somebody, or I've always been kind of a teacher in different areas, so that's what I do. Okay, we don't have too many more. I never know whether you want me to do the whole video and you see everything, or do just part of it, and So if you really don't like me doing some of it off camera and then coming on, just let me know. It's your videos I want you to see. But to do a ton of these is monotonous, over and over and over. And see, I came a little too far out, so I don't have much room to bring my brown, my light brown out. That's what I meant by keeping it back. But we'll just say this one is different. It had a mind of its own. And you can just go over it and fill in all your little spots. And let's see, I still need a little more. And this hasn't always been my trick, is do your light spot first, then come back in and give yourself something to go by. That helps a lot. And it's such a little area that you're just trying to keep just so much. And then if you go into this lighter color in the middle, your highlight color, it's not like it's a disaster from this little tiny spot to this bigger spot. So I'm just going back and forth, blending these two together a little more. And then I'll just go back and forth. Now, if you're trying to keep this really light, don't go back and forth. Go towards the darker color. But I wanted it to kind of pull a little bit, and it does, not a lot, but it does. Some different colors will do different things. So you just kind of have to test it. So we almost got this part done. I was thinking about my little mushroom. What color do I want to make him? Am I staying in a lot of greens, or am I gonna give that little guy a pop of color? I was kind of thinking more yellowy, goldy, like that yellow mushroom I did, those colors. Well, one thing about it, I've started something and then I didn't know what color I used. And I try to rewatch my videos to see my mistakes or see if, you know, how it's looking and doing and how. Anyway, teach myself to do better. And I was like, oh, there's that color. That's what color I used. So I guess that you know, filming it does help you to go back and see what you did. So I got my daughter's pictures mailed off to her. Should make a nice little arrangement, 3 pictures. I think that'll look pretty. But you know, you can't make these copies and sell them. It's not in the contract here. Not even sure I was supposed to make a copy of it without her permission. When I started reading the front, someone wanted to know what the weight of this paper is, whether you can really watercolor on it. And since I am a watercolorist, you can, but your paper isn't going to hold up like paper, like watercolor paper. The picture I showed on the video that I bought from Etsy, it is in the front of that one. And I think I will find my picture. I'll find where I got it from, and I think that will be one of the next ones that I do. I think that would be kind of fun, and then you could go on and get it if you wanted it. It is a pretty picture. It's kind of Victorian, and I am a little country Victorian girl. I started watching all these from France, the chateaus that they're redoing. Especially seems like British people are going over there and buying these really run-down chateaus and turning them into bed and breakfasts in event center, kind of lots of stuff like that. So I watch a lot of those. And so I have a wall that I started putting all these pictures on, and I thought, okay, I know why I'm doing this. It's because I think I'm living in a chateau. I don't know. Okay, we've got our little boat done. So now we're going to do the leaf part of it. And these are some colors I haven't used. And I don't know whether I want to introduce them or just keep using the colors in the... I think I'm going to pick a few colors from up there and just kind of run them together, I think. So I'm going to put all my little pencils in my hand again, just like I did up here. And I'm going to start with and just see what it does. Because I really want to just add a lot of these colors. I'm going to leave spaces so that we can come in and put other colors in, other greens, and see how that works. there you go. Now let's start with just random. Some of the colors you kind of like. And let's see what happens. All right, we don't want to go down there. We haven't done that yet. So I'll just lay the colors I've done. Up to the side. I really like this. It's a parrot green. You can probably tell. Okay, we can always come back and add more color. And let's try this lemon peel. Kind of make it heavy. So you don't have to come back on top of it and do anything. Let's see, this is Kelly green. So I'm just going to come in between these two. So it's just kind of a hit and a miss is what I'm trying to do. I don't want it to be any particular way. Just kind of blending the colors together a little more. Just kind of a hit and a miss. Even there wasn't a lot of room, but I'm going to sneak in there and just add a little color. And we are going to come down here, put a little color in here. Okay. And this one is the jade green. So that's more like this little vine. So I'm going to kind of start filling in the spots I missed. And we can come in with the yellow and just kind of go over it. Just use the yellow to blend it because it's the lightest of all the colors. And we're just going to blend it. Where we miss spots, it will be nice because it will give you that little bit of yellow. If you get out of line, we can erase it. Just work on kind of blending the colors a little softer together where they just kind of, but don't go over so much that you get rid of your color either. You know what I mean? But especially if you see a little white spot. Okay. You know what, I think that looks good with our Peter Pan boat. So let's move back. Put these colors down. And so it's like, okay, where do I start? Where do I start? Try to get like the center of wherever you're doing and then just kind of lighten up on the ends. And then whatever colors we mix in, like there, I made it darker underneath the leaf. And the lighter part helps to blend. This is just a matter of hit and miss. There's a lot to this little boat. Okay. What color did we use that one? I think we used that more in here. Maybe we use this one more. Kind of hit and miss. Don't forget these little guys up here. I'm trying to remember, don't forget me. Okay, I think we used those two, so. Or did we use the Kelly green? Is that what this is? Yeah. All right. So now we're going to come in and start filling in the white spots. If you left a little space between, you can even go over the top of it. Just whatever. We just don't want to make anything solid is what is what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be perfect in any shape or form. We're just trying to spread the color out. How about a little bit of our parrot? Green. Just and save a little bit so that when the yellow comes in, there are some tiny little spots. Just kind of blending it. We're not trying to be perfect. Okay, so what is this? Apple green. Good choice to end up on, huh? So just kind of keep finding your little spots. This one seems kind of long, so I'm going to go up and down on that one a little more. And that just kind of wraps everything together. Let's see, am I in? I am. Okay. his little feet. So I'm just gonna see if I can't mix a little bit. Just here and there. Just so it kind of blends with the top is all I'm trying to accomplish. That it looks similar to that. And then our little vine, and I was thinking maybe I did a different color, I don't know, but it's close enough, I think. No, I think this is it. So we're going to do the jade on our little vine, and I'm going to finish coming down here. And we'll come back and put in the little lines. And this is probably the same thing here. They've tied it up with this color vine. And now where's our yellow? Yellow, yellow, mellow yellow. Let's just go over all of this softly, softly, and blend it. Just blend it a little more. Covering up anything we left out and pulling it together a little more. How's that looking? Oh, that's a leaf. Okay. I was thinking, what is that wrapped around that? For your color. If you don't know what it is, stop and look. That just kind of blends it all nicely together. I think that looks pretty cool. Did we do this part? I don't think we need this much yellow down here because we got it pretty light. And now, let's see, what did we use on this? I think we took the pumpkin. And we're going to come back through a rope. And on this one, there are some little lines. And if it's short together, then I'm going to just color it. If it's wider, I'm going to fill it in. I'm just going to give it a little color there. Just do cross the line. That one we can fill in. Same with this one. And this one's pretty far apart, so I'm just going to hit that line. And here too. And that one's pretty far, so we'll just do that one. And then with our little, I'm going to go in between this, in between the lines, and just kind of look like whatever, separating it a little bit. It's really all we're doing. So there we go. That's pretty good. So we've got these little leaves here. I think I used the apple. And then this really light chartreuse. Well, I couldn't even think of how to pronounce that last night. I think I was getting too tired. But you know what? It's just like you just want to push through because I want to see what it's going to look like. No matter what. It's so fun to watch something take shape. What are we going to do with these little monkeys? I wonder if we should maybe do some pumpkin orange with them. Guess we are. Oops, I got out of line. Did it again. Doggone it. It's going to outline it. And what color did we use last night? The opposite was... Uh-oh, my eraser's dirty. So then you have a little mess. It's hard to remember every time to check. Oh, okay, here it is up here. So we're going to do the goldenrod, I think, in the body of it. And then I can put those down for a minute. And we can do the darker color a little bit. Just kind of mix them together, but not let that. Let's see what happens if we put a little yellow in this. Use it to blend it. I'm not even going all the way to the tips. Okay, I think that'll add some color. So let's do these two. Do the little spiky things in the pumpkin orange. And then we can just kind of make this a little darker on this side. It'll help separate the two of them. Just a little bit on that side. And try to keep right in here lighter. So that you can come in with your goldenrod. Let me sharpen it so I can get in between here a little more. And that way it's going to look like there's two and they're not going to blend together. Whatever these little things are, I think they should be green, but on Peter Pan's boat, you never know what you're going to find. And we'll just fill them in, and we'll come back and just a little bit at the bottom. Just make little circles. And then with our yellow, we're just going to come in and blend them together. And I think that looks good. I think they like it, whatever they are. Maybe they're supposed to be their bombs that they're throwing at Captain Hook. I don't know. I truly don't know. So, what would be... I think we're going to use the sandbar. No, this is the ginger root. And put in some highlight so I don't cover it up. And maybe we'll use the colors of the boat. I don't know. Let's see. The darker side on the one side, a little bit at the top. I try to hold it back, my pencil back, so that you can see what I'm doing and not, because I can do it without holding it to the end. And it's a good habit to get into anyway, because then you're not trying to do what I do. And so now we're going to do the sandbar. Just real lightly. Go around here. I'm going to add a little bit of color in here after we get done. So I'm just doing it lightly to blend these two from dark to light. And then I'm going to come back in with pumpkin orange and go over the whole thing. And it will put some of that color back into here. Look how pretty it's blending. And I want to leave this light. I just want to go around the edge and blend the brown in with the pumpkin orange and leave my highlight. And since I have this light, it's not going to let it get really dark. How's that? Does that look good? I think so. All right, let's do underneath. Where did oh, here it is. You guys got to keep track of me. You know how easy I lose things on my desktop. So I'm just highlighting all of these with this ginger because it's not white. It's kind of a yellowy green, lighter color. And my new book's coming today. I'm so excited. I can't do an unwrapping because it's going to come in a box with my new stencil too. Stencils, I think they were $6 for 4 or 6 of them. And I think they're like 6 inches long, which would be pretty good. And they're really, you'll see, they're really going to be cool for these books. All right, so I'm just taking my goldenrod. Now I'm going over my lines. So all I'm trying to do is deepen this. And when you make this darker, the darker you get it, the more bowed it will start looking. So I'm going to take now pumpkin orange, and I'm going over it again. Just on the edges. I thought I heard somebody behind me, but it must be the wind. Okay. I always like to get rid of my crumbs. So now I'm going to take my pumpkin orange and just try to come in a little bit. Let me sharpen it. You need a sharp point to get in that little spot. So I'm kind of just barely, and what I'm doing is I'm spreading this color out a little bit too. And then we'll come in with a darker color one more time and go over just the lines. We don't want to touch anything else. So we're just barely, I don't know if you can see it, there's just a little bit of a highlight left. And now, I wonder where my pencil sharpener went. I wanted to use the pencil sharpener because that will get rid of that. But here's one in my sepia. It's not real sharp, but it'll be sharper. Okay. So I just want to make that darker. And it will start to look more rounded and defined. It's a small spot, so it's a little harder to really get the color out and leave that highlight in the center. But at the very end, we could take our, I think this is yellow-green, yellow, chartreuse. I don't know why I have a hard time with that one, but I did. I am. I think we're just going to go over a little bit right in the center. Just down the center. Because we've left enough of that light color that we used that it's going to take it. Just okay, well that's the best I can do at this point. So now what are we going to do? Since we have this one out, I'm thinking I don't know what I'm thinking. All right. Let's go over these. I'm just thinking. Because I want to use some of these colors, but I don't want it to be, oh, they're in my hand. Exactly like that. So I'm going to fill this in. I'm just going to go lightly until I get to the corner. Get to the corner. Today's Monday, isn't it? Yeah. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. We're just seeing what's going to happen. So maybe we'll use our pumpkin orange and go around these circles. And make them good and dark. And even on these, I'm gonna This is Peter Pan's boat, so it's probably not realistic. So I'm going to just go around the edge with this now. Make sure I get this very edge darker. So I'm just making my line. And then pull this out. Then we're going to come back in with our goldenrod. Okay. I'm going to leave the top for a minute. I don't know whether I want to make it like a highlight. I'm just going to fill it in. Nothing fancy. And get to these. I'm going to work it more. Get back into that. Blend it and pull it out. Just keep blending it in together. I was thinking about my lunch. I laid out some hamburger patties that I already made, and I'm going to cook them and simmer them with some mushrooms. I guess I have mushrooms on my mind. I'm going to take some of my yellow and just bring it in for a highlight. And then finish it up, and then I'll come back and go over that a little bit. I just want to take out some of the shine, but it will leave, well, it's not really shiny, but the brightness, okay. Yeah, that's a better word. But it's still going to leave a lighter area. If I don't go over it a million times. I want to darken this bottom up a little bit. Like this little lip. Might even go over that. And then work it up to where it's just lighter. Just lighter, lighter, lighter. And you could kind of come in here if you wanted to. Put some highlights, darker highlights in these little yellow spots. Just add more and more character to your picture. The more colors you add, the more interesting it becomes. Alright, now I think I'm going to take my yellow, the green yellow, the yellow chartreuse, and lightly go over this whole little thing. let it blend everything together, and it will give it that kind of a yellow cast anyway, but what do you think? You like it? I do. I do. Let's see. And look and see. Okay. Let's do a little bit more, okay? And then I will work on the water, some of the bubbles, and some of the greenery. And then we'll do the background. I love doing backgrounds. Let me turn this a little bit sideways. Oh, I want him to be transparent, so I'm just going to hold off on him. I've seen people do such a good job on him. So all my little stars, I want to do in yellow. Let me sharpen it. I'm going to do them now so they stand out. And I don't, if you put, I think for me, an undercoat like this on top of these lighter things, if you accidentally go over it, it's easier to get rid of it because you already have a bottom color that exists. Just like when we erase something, it keeps that color, not dark, but lightly. That's why I like to do my highlights. And I haven't decided what we're going to do to make it look more night, evening. I was thinking about somehow making a little sunset or something. I don't know. We'll see. Because we could do like a little half moon back here and fill it in with some green. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So now let's just start doing a few of these, and we can have fun with them, with all of our colors. And we can add some of our oranges and into that. I don't need the browns right now, so we just need greens. So decisions. Here we go again. So these little leaves down here are these two colors, so let's make that easy on us. So all these little leaves, let's make them the same by using the apple green. Sorry I have to keep checking, but I do. So I'm just going to do the bottom part. And which part is the bottom when this is up? I don't know. And then this is the chartreuse. Is that what we use? Yeah, it looks like it. If not, it's close enough. And then we're going over the whole leaf. On every single little leaf in here is what we're going to do. And then I will come back and finish those before we do 2 or 3, because this is number 2. And so all these little leaves. This is a fun little thing. Let's do this one. This little spiky. And maybe this was a good time to use our oranges in here. So maybe we'll just do the bottoms of them with the pumpkin. Because I want to mix some of that in here. And then we can do the top of it with the, oh, the other one was the wrong way. I didn't say pumpkin, I did goldenrod. I'm going to have to sharpen this to be able to get to that point. That will bring this color into here, and then there's some leaves on the other side. I think we'll do the same way, same colors, because you want to bring that color around. Okay, those look pretty good. We'll just make the stem like that, and then we can just come back. I always like to come back in and push the light color up into the dark color, and it just kind of blends them together a little more. You can actually go over the whole thing, but it doesn't look like I need to. Okay, and so this one we're going to do the yellow. So this one, what are we going to do with the sky? What do you want, little guy? Let's do something. What about, where's our parrot? Our parrot green and our jade. Doesn't that sound pretty? I think so. So on these, I don't know whether just ignore these lines. So let's just start. See what happens. Fill that in. I better sharpen. I love my Mr. Pen, P-E-N sharpener. It has really been good. I had a very expensive one, and I didn't even use it that much. And it just quit working. I don't know what happened. Mr. Pen's not that expensive, and he's working really good. Alright, so we're gonna, there's a little piece underneath here. So I want to get some of that up there, so when we blend the parrot down, it's going to come down into this. So I think that looks pretty when it blends into it. And you want to get enough on there so that you got a good base to do that in. I think for me, it just seems, that's what it seems like. It blends better if I've got more, a little more pencil down. I don't think we're going to make all of them this color. I think we're just going to do a few on this side and maybe one up here, and then do just color it the same way but use some of the other colors that are in here so it doesn't look like it's all different. It's gonna, I think it'll blend better if we do it that way. So let's switch colors. Try to pick two that one's lighter, one's quite a bit darker. So I'm going to go with the sap green light and the Kelly green. So we use the lighter color at the bottom and the darker color at the top. So this time let's go darker at the bottom. I'm just thinking. You can do it whichever way you want. I'm just thinking maybe do the opposite next to each other. So I'm just going to do a couple leaves one way and a couple leaves another way, another color, other colors. And then you can blend, like I am going to blend this one over here. Oh, we forgot the little top of the mask. But again, we're just going to color them all the exact same way. Just blending them together. Okay, so we're going to use the top, the lighter color, and the bottom, the darker color. Okay, so now let's pick two more colors. I'm going to put those off to the side so that with all this dust in the air, it's really hard on the... And it's all coming from Wyoming, so if any of you from Wyoming, we don't appreciate all your dust. When I lived up there, oh my gosh. What color is this? Because there was, I think, well, you can hardly read that. Verde green. I can read it there. But it's number 109, whatever it says. Sometimes if you scrape these a little bit, the Persian, I think it says green in English. Okay. All right, so we are going to do on this side, the darker on the bottom. And I don't know if we're going to use this green. This is really dark. I'm going to set it aside. Yeah. And where's my eraser? We're going to just lighten that up and get rid of that right now. All right, so now we're going to go in with light green and spring green. So which one do you think is the darkest? I guess spring green. So we'll do that at the bottom. Again, I'm just bringing a little above so that I can get this green to blend, have something to blend it in. I do kind of like green. So maybe that's why I love Johanna's books, because I can use so much green. when I ordered more Prisma and Polychromos pencils, it was amazing how many greens I ordered of different colors that I didn't have. And a couple of them that I knew that I was already using a lot of, I ordered a couple of, not just one. Because there are a couple shades of green that I really, really like. And I do pull them out, and I do mix them. Right or wrong, I don't have any problem mixing my colors. Like pink, I didn't have hardly any pink in some of the sets, and there's other sets that have more pink, so I will pull the colors from those sets if I'm just bound and determined to use more shades. I don't know. But maybe because I'm not a professional, I'm just, I don't know, just doing it. Now let's see if there's just one more. So we definitely will go with True Green. And my favorite, Lime Peel. Okay, so this time, let's go with the darker on the top, which I think would be the Lime Peel. I have a couple exciting things I want to share with you in my next video that I found that really helped with finding more colors to use. Because I don't have a lot of trouble just picking colors, but not always do they turn out the way I think they should, because I don't really use the color chart like I probably should. But most of the time they do turn out. That's one thing I I'm able to do, which is good. We're very grateful for every gift that we get. Okay. I think that's really going to be pretty, and it's going to blend in with our sail. Because I was just going to do like all the same way around the color, but that just wouldn't work with this one. All right, now this leaf is coming up. Oh, why are you doing that to me? So the bottom actually would be this color. And we're just going to have to just barely I'm thinking just a little bit before we get too far, because I just want it to be seen a little bit. Little intent, trying to keep that little. Well, kind of cheated you out of a second leaf, didn't it? Well, I have these two I can make a color, and I want to bring this leaf into that color. So I think, all right, we'll just start all over. So we'll start with these 2. And we'll do the bottom. In the darker color. And then I think we will stop for this period of time that we're in, because who knows what time you'll be watching this. And I do intend on finishing this one up later today, so but you got to remember, I'm retired. I live alone. I have my friend up front of me, so it's nice. I feel safe back here. I don't live in the best of neighborhoods. Used to be. I'm going to do so that I can bring this color out more, because it's didn't really show up. They're pretty close. And you see it in that, it's upside down, but this is going to be pretty. All right, so what's the next 2 colors? We did that. We could do these 2 that way. So what color should we do? This one we did in that. So we could bring these 2. Let's see. I did them opposite of each other. It's kind of cool. Okay. So now we're going to do the bottom. Let me turn you around. Where is that leaf? I'd spin it and then I'm like, where did it go? I just love doing this with you guys. I know I keep saying that, but I really, truly have enjoyed this thoroughly. And I've loved all of your little messages that you're giving me. Even your hints. Whether I agree or don't agree, I don't know. I have to try it out. Okay, these 2, what color are we going to make these? I'm thinking maybe we should go ahead and make them this color and then do this one in that color. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're doing these 2. Okay. You notice how I've kind of been pulling the stems along with the colors so that we're doesn't it amaze you when you start doing something and you don't know how it's going to turn out and it ends up being okay? It always works out. I do the same with when I'm doing watercolor or acrylic colors. Or did I do the right thing? Yeah, I did the right thing. I was like, oh no, I'm talking, I'm not thinking. I always think it's not going to turn out, it's not going to turn out. That's what you're thinking in your mind. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, that's what goes through your mind. just think this one's my favorite one. I just like the peacock blue, I guess. And I love the matted color of this jade green. I like that. I always want to make a list. Oops, I'm not supposed to be down there. Of the colors that are muted and do a whole. I was looking for a set of pencils. You know how you can buy them in different sets. So I was looking for a set that would come more all in the muted, just the muted colors. And I just think that would make such a pretty picture. I shouldn't do that because I don't know what color. I think it's supposed to be this color with those little leaves. That's like our rope is this color vine. Okay, so we got one more to do, right? Yeah. And then the green one. And then we'll take a break. And before I come back on, I'll finish all the little leaves. And I'm going to start the bubbles. Just start them. And I might trace him and try to do it on a little piece of paper, and I'll start some of the water. Just to get a look at how to do it. But I will leave enough of everything. Like I did the boat, I started it and then we finished it up. Just keeps the videos from being so long. It's amazing how long and how quick time goes when you are doing this. It's like, wow. Time just flies. I love that. I think that's so pretty. All right, so this one we're going to do like this one. So that was, I think, these two. Kelly green and the light green. And we did the light green at the end. I'm going to go ahead and do that. If you got any friends who like to color, please tell them about my channel. And I really appreciate the subscribing. That helps me. And I love all your little comments that you give me. You encourage me so much. You're some of the kindest people I know. Isn't that fun to find kind people that aren't always trying to be mean, but give you good encouragements to keep going? And sometimes it looks just like velvet. Okay. We don't have that much left to do, but we still have quite a bit to do. And I think it is turning out so cute. I'm really, really liking it. The colors are just so pretty. Okay, until later, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, tell your friends, and share. And we'll talk to you this afternoon. Love you all. Remember, you're valuable, you're beautiful, and you're wonderful.